Oh my god, this episode was fucking fantastic. Harrison gets his mind back, but he doesn't have everything, unfortunately. And oh my god, DeVoe is defeated, and Dibney is back. Yes, Dibney is back. Wow. Oh my god, this was such a fantastic episode. So much to talk about, but I will talk about it in my part 2, 3, probably part 4 or 5. I can't wait to tell you guys everything. Oh my god. Oh my god, I wrote so much stuff down in the notes. Okay, so when that satellite was coming down, Barry used his supersonic punch again, and it was epic. Oh my god, and somebody helped him, and oh my god, it was another speedster, and oh my god, Wally comes back, and the baby, Cecile has a baby, and she names her Jenna Marie. Oh my god. Oh my god, so the coffee girl shows up to the party for the baby, and oh my god, she is wearing Iris's speedster sweater, and she reveals herself to be Nora Allen from the future. Oh my god, that was amazing. Finally! I can't wait for season 5. I cannot. This was a iffy season, but this season finale, though, you can't lie, was lit. Oh my god, fantastic episode.
I enjoyed the season finale of The Flash. You know, it had some problems in the beginning. I mean, I thought Cecile was going to die, and her baby. And we get to see Ralph come back, and Harry, come back, but he don't have his IQ. And Wally comes back, too. And we get to find out the mystery girl's identity, which is Barry and Iris' daughter, Nora. But the villain didn't leave us off with a cliffhanger.
First off, I got a couple things. First off, the episode was epic. Oh yeah, I'm back. Second of all, they used Nora Allen. Nora Allen is the daughter of the Flash and the Jessica Cruz Green Lantern in the comics, so I'm really trying to figure out how that's going to work, but I knew she was the daughter. And then 3, they deleted the supposed scenes that was supposed to lead up to season 5.
Well, that was fine. That wasn't bad. It was okay. Like that Ralph is back. I wonder if he has everybody's powers. They don't say. I don't like what they did with Harry. I'm really sad about that. And it was very convenient for Wally to come after the climax. And Future Girl is their daughter. Yeah, I call BS on him punching the satellite. That was lame. Why didn't Vibe just, vibe the damn thing?
Okay, so oh my god, Zod plans to give Val comes back. Zod plans to give Val to Braniac in order for Braniac to take his knowledge. Darren Vex's daughter, I forget her name, she finds out she's a fake, and oh my god, he ends up going to the Phantom Zone with Braniac, and oh my god, Zod is ruler of Kandor, and he said kneel before Zod, and oh my god, Doomsday breaks out, oh my god.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's DJ Bro Jamai.
What's good?
Hey, it's Beard and Beers.
Kind of cool.
Bringing you our Justice Clubhouse podcast, season 3, episode 23.
Yeah.
Jeremy's a bit medicated, but we're gonna get through this. Anyways, this episode of Supergirl was titled "The Fanatical." Roll the clip,
Dude.
This week on Supergirl, Team Supergirl have Sam contained in Lena's lab. Supergirl and Lena have a falling out when the former discovers the weapons Lena created that could hurt her. Carl talks to James about her predicament with Lena, and they're met by one of Coville's former followers named Tanya. Tanya tells them that she could read the Book of Ra, but broke away when she realized that one of the entries spoke of a bomb. Carl and Adele investigate the location where Coville's cult had been and find a tracing of a person indicating that the bomb was used there. They have one examined to see how it was made. Tracy is abducted by the Coville's followers, led by Olivia. James chases after them and engages them. His mask is knocked off just as cops appear. They nearly shoot him, so he escapes using a smoke bomb. Supergirl checks up on James and Tanya and learns of their ordeal. And Supergirl hands Tanya a necklace belonging to one of her friends. James gets a message from the cult, threatening to out him as the Guardian if they don't turn Tanya over. John and Alex bring Myron and Ruby to the arcade to get their minds off the problems. Myron and Ruby bond while John and Alex watch. Ruby finally opens up, and Alex promises that Team Supergirl will save Sam. At the DEO, Wynn reveals that the explosion was caused because of the Rock of Uticult, which the cult is using to try to create another world killer. James brings Tanya to the DEO and reveals that he's going to out himself as Guardian before the cult does. Tanya decides to help Team Supergirl find a cult, so Mon-El goes with her disguised as Mike. He sabotages the ritual, then calls Kara using a sunstone. The two fight Olivia, who has gained powers from the Rock. Kara is able to talk her down, and they save her from exploding. Wynn tells the team that another fragment of the Rock of Uticult is on a meteor 5 light years away. Mon-El decides to go to Kara, so they take John's bioship. Coville reappears at the crime scene. Now back to the Justice Clubhouse podcast. So Jeremy said, dude.
I said dude right before that, dude. It's my brain. It's allergy season.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty bad.
Oh, man. Antihistamines on the ready, dude.
But yeah, this episode was one sentence.
Bangarang.
That's such an old song. That's a pretty good one too.
Yeah. I
But
like the catchphrase.
yeah, I like that Manal said that.
Mhm.
Man, this was more of like a filler episode, and I have to kind of clarify what I said on Stardust, just in case you guys might think that I kind of overlooked the entire storyline. I think it's important that they mention racism. I didn't really mention that during the Stardust review because I was kind of just, it's hard to chew out a lot of thoughts within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What I meant was they introduce a really good story for James and Guardian finally, and then halfway through they kind of just dropped it, if that makes any sense. Like, I love him telling his story of how racism was when he was being brought up, how when he was 7 years old, he was cuffed by a bunch of cops just because he and his cousin were black and in a place that they apparently didn't belong in the eyes of the law.
Yeah.
In their vacationing. And it's very relevant to what's going on now today in the U.S. of A. I mean, we're born here.
U.S. of A.
Yeah, we're born here. We're proud to be Americans, but at the same time, we know that struggle.
Yeah, profiling is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racism is very much alive, and
Yeah.
I like that the show talks about that when it gets a chance to. The only thing is I wish that they kind of had moved forward and kept telling that story throughout this episode instead of dropping it halfway through.
Because there kind of wasn't an end to that.
There wasn't, yeah.
Especially when, he said that and like the whole him and Lena scene.
Yeah.
I felt like that could have been resolved at the end of this episode, but kind of just Kara and Manel kind of took the reins of that.
Yeah.
And it didn't really show. It's whatever.
Yeah, I
didn't show
understand what
much of like an
This
end
could
to
have
that.
been its own episode, and then they could have had the whole like the stopping the Sunstone and the Rock of Utica and all that stuff in another. And they just, I feel like they kind of just don't take the time to really space out James' story, and they just throw him in just cause to fill something for time. But they should definitely focus on episodes because he is an important character, and stuff like that makes it makes him very interesting.
Yes.
Same with John. They do the same thing of like, why are they disguised as black men when they're humans? They said that, you know, it basically mimics what happened to them on Mars. Yeah, and it's just but other than that, did like the story was pretty decent as far as Coville's followers trying to use the Rock of Utica to basically create another world killer, which was interesting because they thought it was a bomb that they're making. It was just people exploding because they couldn't handle the power of that rock.
That's
and I like how Wynn's like, yeah, they're not explode. I mean, this isn't a bomb. Like, people are literally exploding because of this rock, and then they're like, oh, that's messed up. But
oh, this messed up.
But the silver lining is that they kind of deduced, Kara and Lena, that they could use the rock to kind of separate Reign from Lena. But if you guys have watched Smallville and you see them trying to separate Doomsday and Davis, you kind of already know where this is going.
Yes.
And meanwhile, we'll kind of wrap up this storyline with Alex, John, Myron, and Ruby. That the latter two are like in a rut. Myron's getting sicker, and Ruby just doesn't know how to feel about her mother being the world killer. It's understandable. So they take him to the arcade, and despite a little bit of the telepathic episodes that Myron goes through, him and
He
Ruby
also had like some weird PTSD too.
Yeah.
Because of that.
He was like, oh, who's shooting at us? Who's shooting at us? It's just like the noise in the arcade. It was very sad to watch.
Bad, man.
I like the way that they portray that, you know, in this show, like the sickness and how to deal with it and how it's not very different if an alien were to go through it. It's a sad way to tell the story, but it's very realistic, or as realistic as it could get for a superhero show. But then seeing Myron and Ruby kind of find a common place and bonding over foosball was awesome. And
what is this foos of ball?
and he's like, what did he say? My tiny man hit the foosball. It is awesome. You see like Alex and John just like smiling while the two are, playing that game. But yeah, that was a really nice storyline for them. And then Alex kind of comforts Ruby later on, saying that Team Supergirl will save her mom. I don't know if this is going to be a promise that she's going to be able to deliver on, though. And then you have this whole Lena and Supergirl thing. This is like Lex Luthor Smallville season.
Sorry, I was about to sneeze
Oh,
right there.
bless you.
I don't know why I held this. It's just like
Stop
allergies
sneeze.
suck.
You telepathically stopped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this Lena is like Lex Luthor season 2 with the obsession with Clark. Like this, hers is like
She has an obsession to
with saving
help, yeah,
Sam,
exactly.
but like she doesn't want to. I don't know. It's weird the way she kind of turned on Supergirl. Like she was saying like Supergirl lied about this and that, but then again she lied about like it's they both have lies of omission.
Yeah.
It doesn't make one better than the other to have more or less lies. You're still lying.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand her. Like that was kind of cold. She was like, Kara's like, can we fix our friendship? And she's like, we don't have one. And I was like, oh, ew, that hurt. And I don't like obviously I like the direction the character's going in because they're setting up like a rivalry between the two, but I hate the way Lena is being towards the end of the season because it's like she's become crazy with like trying to solve everything herself. And the only soft spot she has is for I think
that's the thing with
James.
all Luthers. It's their pride.
Yeah,
that's the best
for sure.
of them.
She might not have their blood, but she is through
She's
and through
got
a
the
Luther.
mind of a Luther.
Yeah. And then we see James go through a bunch of stuff like as far as getting profiled by the police after his mask is shot off. Though I have to say that was a cut story moment because he just stared at the gun.
I know.
He should have whacked it away, but he like stared at it and then let it get blown off his face. But that did provide for a really cool moment between him and Tanya, who was like praising him for being a hero, a black superhero at that. And it was like, because my brother and my father, they went through racism and they've been shot by the cops and stuff like that. It's very important. Like conversations like that are very important.
For sure.
But from a standpoint of a story, if he's a vigilante that's skilled and has fought aliens, he shouldn't be standing in front of a gun and letting it go off in his face. He had more than enough time to whack it out of his direction. But that's what I'm saying. Right after that, they just dropped the story. Like he had that conversation with Lena. Tanya was like, I want to go confront Coville and the followers.
And if that was supposed to be like their way of closing that, it kind of was a little
wasted.
Yeah, because that felt like
it was a build-up.
Yeah, build-up before the climax.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm going to reveal myself before the cult does, and then he doesn't. But yeah, then we get to Kara and Nora. It was hilarious. So Manel goes with Tanya to keep her safe and then surveil the cult's.
He's like, is this lift for Mike?
Yeah.
Mike?
He's like, you're doing something very illegal. I don't feel... And then he gets punched in the face.
Owie.
Yeah. And he gets to the location. He sabotages the ritual, led by Olivia, who was saved by Team Supergirl earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And he contacts Kara with the Sunstone. And basically a brawl goes down. Kara and Manal are both overpowered, or at least they're both distracted. So they end up talking Olivia down. Olivia can't let go of Sunstone. Supergirl releases the Sunstone from her.
It's not the Sunstone, it's the rock.
Or the Rock of Utica.
Yeah, Utica.
And
Utica.
Utica.
I said Utica, but
and she freaking heat beams it off her hand, and then she does the little baby when the baby burns her hand. She's like with her super breath.
She kind of cuddled her too.
Yeah, she's
like a kid.
Poor baby. Yeah, and they saved the day basically. And
so Manel's not, what do you call it, susceptible to that?
No, because he's Daxamidian.
Very nice.
So I know it's Daxamite. Okay, don't grill me for that. And then the episode ends with Rain breaking out of her constraints, and basically her cell is breaking. It can't contain her because Pestilence's abilities are giving her mad power. Yeah, exactly. So Kara and Manal are sent on a mission to 5 light years away to obtain more fragments of the Stone of Utica.
Yes.
That Wynn pinpointed out.
Utica.
Yeah, Utica. That was hilarious. That Wynn was
chicken Utica.
Cow. Chicken. But yeah, it'll be a good way for Kara and Manal to finally get to talking. I like how John called it out. He's like, "You're gonna talk to her, aren't you?" And yeah, it was pretty badass that Wynn found that thing all the way out there. And I think
the rock.
Yeah.
The rest of the rock.
And they only have like days before that containment cell that Rain is going to break it.
Or Rain.
Yeah. Is there anything else as far as story-wise goes? That's pretty much it, right?
Coville at the end?
Oh, yeah, he showed up. He'd been gone, apparently. So it'll be interesting to see what part he plays moving forward. We only have 4 more episodes after this.
Yeah? This is 19?
Yep.
Dang.
This is episode 19. I guess we can get into the Easter eggs if you have any.
Sure. The Sunstone?
Okay.
That's cool that was mentioned and shown.
There's a mother effing bitch of a level on DCUO where you have to move these sunstones. That's
dude, it's
like the
the
worst.
Three-parter
it's the
when
worst.
you're on Krypton.
Yeah,
it's like the 8-player raid, or it's like duo and then 4-player and then 2 raids or something like that. It's crazy, dude.
Basically, it's like the heart of everything.
Yeah, you have to carry it the entire way up without getting hit, and if you get hit, it resets.
Start all the way back down.
Oh, dude, I hate that.
They mentioned Ransom.
When we used to do these podcasts with
it was
gameplay,
just this. It was like that.
We wasted so much time trying to get the
ridiculous.
Gameplay. Oh my lord!
Yeah, Wynn mentioned Ransom with Mel Gibson. Yes. That was hilarious.
Oh, that's with Mel Gibson. There you go.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I was trying to find who that was.
Yeah.
I didn't search it up. Bangarang.
Bangarang. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Rock of Utica. We'll just put that out there,
Sure.
and
yay. You're looking at your handy dandy notebook?
Yeah. What do you call that? Tanya was like, you're like Superman, but you're not Superman. You are Superman, though.
Should have just said superhero.
Yeah, exactly.
Not complicated, but it's okay. Nice
cool
reference.
name drop. Yeah. I think that was pretty much it. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it, dude.
All right, so I guess we'll get into the previews for next week, which is titled Dark Side of the Moon. The Dark Side of the Moon.
Dude, I'm feeling it, dude.
I'm never going to catch my breath.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, dude. The medication.
Yeah, sorry.
Me and you in my medication.
Man, that band needs to come out with new music.
Yeah.
So next week, Supergirl's stunned to discover that part of Krypton survived. Meanwhile, Alex is attacked while out with Ruby, and Lena considers how far she'll go to keep Rain contained. Okay, so my theory is it's kind of like when Superman went to go find like remnants of Krypton, and he did. Like, you remember in Superman Returns, he came back and he said like there was a part of Krypton that was still alive.
Yeah.
My guess is either the Bottle City of Kandor or Argo that are still like a piece of it are probably broken off from Krypton. So
sorry, I'm just checking the audio levels.
Yeah. Next week we're going to see Erica Durance as Allura again, so that's going to be interesting. We'll probably see. I don't know how this is going to end up, but I guess we could start theorizing. Sure, next week you said you saw people flying around, right?
It's like weird. They weren't really flying. They're like floating. And they're like doing, you know, the Nobodies and Kingdom Hearts 2? They're like doing that weird step type thing. I don't know what that was, dude. It could have just been like weird fragments in the air, or it kind of looked like people, though.
Okay. So,
it
theories.
might be the medication.
It could be Phantom Zoners. It could be...
it's like in the light, you know? Maybe they're guards or something?
Yeah, so maybe they're guards of Argo City.
Yeah.
Maybe she finds...
They look odd.
A construct of Allura.
They weren't a big... I don't think they are going to be a big part of next week, but they just kind of stood out to me during that trailer.
That's good that you pointed that out, though, so we could draw some theories.
Odd.
By the end of the season, what we know is that Mon-El and Imra are going to be done. We are going to see Imra fight with them in the last battle against the World Killer and their creator, along with Allura. So that's going to be interesting.
So she's alive?
And they're going to be on Argo City when they do this.
Is this a lot?
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
If she's alive, like, they really take a while to age.
Yeah. For sure.
Dang.
Especially if they're in Earth's orbit, or at least by a sun.
They're different. Yeah. So my bad. I didn't think of that.
But
true. You're right.
Yeah, so moving forward with this season, you know, even if Mon-El left, which I hope he stays for a little bit in the next season, because he's grown as a character for sure. Like, he's doing smart moves. He's not being selfish. He is trying to make things right between everybody. Hopefully stays for a couple more episodes, but I would totally understand if he goes back to the future, not to be with Inra, but to make sure that the Legion exists, because they're a big thing. And then when this whole, you know, when the show is nearing its end, which could be 3-4 more seasons, hopefully it lasts even longer than that, she can just go with Mon-El to the future, or she could just visit him in the future from time to time. It's as easy as that. And then they could just focus on Supergirl being a badass, you know, like the less characters they have next season. The only thing is, I'm gonna be pissed though if they get rid of Jean and this season, because apparently he's supposed to like go on some sort of self-discovery journey when Myron apparently dies. I mean, that's speculation. I don't know if that's true, but if that happens, they better bring him back like the first episode.
Yeah, please just if he does go, just for the end of this season, and then just like make him come back immediately.
I'm gonna be pissed. They underused him so much during this season, and the parts that he did stand out was very short. But yeah, like, it could play out like that. Hopefully, the world does get cracked apart by the end of the season, so they have to move on to the Flaraverse world.
That'd be cool.
And maybe the Blight still happens with, what's her name? Ruby. Because she still has we don't know if she has those abilities. She's definitely a hybrid, that's for sure. But I don't think they're going to be able to save Sam, honestly. I think they're going to be able to pull Sam out, but she's going to die, like maybe protecting Ruby from Rain. Because I think they're going to separate the two, but it's going to just be bad. It's going to be this whole Davis Bloom thing all over again.
Probably.
And then Lena, apparently she's going to go full mad scientist by the end of the season. So that's something to look forward to. She's going to be another antagonist. And it sucks, but that'll push forward a lot of
So what's going to happen to Guardian, yo?
I don't know. So he might have to die too.
Is he going to die?
He might die. Maybe that's what pushes Lena.
Push her story even more?
Yeah. What if like she brings him back to life as like antagonist, sort of?
Guardianstein.
Because you know how Guardian...
He's like Frankenstein.
Yeah, in Young Justice,
it
was Guardian, like, he was the clone of the real Guardian, and then, like, he was programmed by those, like, the telepathic people to fight for them and stuff. What if they do that here?
Maybe. That's good.
But with Lena.
Yeah.
So James is kind of like the antagonistic season.
He's like the muscle.
Yeah, exactly. For Lena.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all.
Because his voice kind of sounds like an evil person.
Yeah, that'd be sick, and that'd be conflict, man. Like Wynn would have to step in.
Yeah.
Alex.
I felt that. Yeah.
Maybe even and then also we have Ruby. Maybe Lena tries to turn Ruby on Team Supergirl, and it's like kind of like that Superboy thing, and she gives her like the patches and trains her.
She's like, you're part Kryptonian. You can. I'll enhance your powers. You know,
exactly.
So you can get vengeance for your mother.
Exactly.
You know?
And then she's like, blame Team Supergirl.
Yeah.
And then it's like that next week. And then, like, because she's so young, she's so powerful.
Yeah.
It could be like that.
That would be a crazy story arc for next season.
That'd be dope. Is there anything else as far as theories go for this episode? Or for this show? We have 4 episodes left.
I think those are good enough.
Okay. So with that...
push it.
So with that being said, please go tell Jeremy to feel better. And we shall see you on The Flash. Season finale.
Yeah, I'll probably be better this next in The Flash.
Just say it though, timestamp, and then say feel better.
Don't timestamp nothing.
With that being said, we'll see you guys on The Flash finale.
You said that twice. Okay. It's not going to work, dude. Never.
This week on The Flash, with the alignment underway, DeVoe looks over the city as it descends into total chaos. As Team Flash prepare for Joe and Cecile's baby, Iris brings Marlize to help the team fight DeVoe. She proposes that they use a cerebral inhibitor and Cecile's telepathic abilities to send Barry into DeVoe's conscience so that they can find a good version of him. Caitlin tries to help ease Cecile's contractions as it puts Barry in danger of being stuck in DeVoe's mind. Barry finds Ralph in DeVoe's conscience and the two look for a good version of DeVoe together. Harry puts on a thinking cap despite Cisco's pleas not to and figures out where a good version of DeVoe could be. He then loses what is left of his intellect. Barry and Ralph find a good version of DeVoe at Oxford University, but he's already dead. In the real world, DeVoe finds Team Flash, but Marlize uses the chair to keep him at bay. Transports the team to DeVoe's DeVoe's lair where they continue to guide Barry and Ralph. Barry realizes that the good left in DeVoe is actually Ralph. Barry and Ralph fight a horde of DeVoes as they try to get to the nexus of the villain's brain to escape. In the real world, DeVoe finds Team Flash at his lair and easily incapacitates them. Cecile's able to stop him from killing Joe using her telepathy. DeVoe nearly kills Cecile, but Barry emerges from the villain's conscience. Ralph fights DeVoe from within and reclaims his body. DeVoe, however, uploads his conscience into his chair before he's humanly defeated. Team Flash are teleported back to Star Labs where they rush Cecile to the lab when her water breaks. DeVoe taunts the team one last time and tries to take over Star Labs systems, but Marlize removes the chair's power source. Despite the alignment being thwarted, the satellite falls and threatens to destroy the city. Cisco and Ralph try to get the people of the Central City to safety, while Barry attempts to destroy the satellite. Before Barry can make contact with the satellite, time rewinds and he is helped by the mystery speedster. Team Flash regroup at the lab just in time to see Caitlin deliver Cecile and Joe's baby Jenna Marie. Marlize gives Team Flash with a device that will help Harry before apologizing for her actions. Despite Barry and Iris's offer for a spot on a team, she decides to save the world in her own way. Harry is cured, but not all of the knowledge is restored. He thanks the team for helping him find balance and shares a heartfelt goodbye before leaving to visit Jessie. Team Flash throw a party for Joe, Cecile, and Jenna Marie, with Wally making a surprise appearance. While celebrating, the mystery speedster appears and reveals that she is Barry and Iris's daughter Nora. Now back to the Justice Clubhouse podcast. We're also getting this episode of The Flash, which is season 4 finale, titled "We Are the Flash." One sentence.
We screwed up.
Yes, we did.
Also, she screwed up.
That made sense. Yeah, that's perfect. So basically, this episode
before that, we gotta say that we weren't recording the video. We were recording the audio. So yeah, whoops.
Fail. Epic fail.
Okay.
Andy Bernard voice. Yeah, this was a pretty decent finale. Honestly, it's probably in between. Season 1 was obviously the best. I would put this right under season 2, and then this, and then Savitar's.
Yeah.
Just because Savitar, I would have rather seen Barry put him down, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh, I just remembered what happened. Yeah.
And around this time last year, Jeremy was in the Philippines
doing
the podcast with the rooster.
Yeah, you could hear the cockadoodle doos. The cow goes moo.
You are my enchilada. Sorry, that was so random. But getting into this episode, it was
Drake and Josh reference.
Yeah. It was an emotional roller coaster. It brought back characters that we hadn't seen in a while, and it was awesome. It starts off with DeVoe kind of overlooking the city while it's going into widespread panic. We see Singh finally back, and he's trying.
He also appeared on the roof.
Yeah,
for a second. Whoa.
He was just trying to get Barry's job back, but he's like, "What is going on here? The clouds are purple and everything."
That's one of the few times you get to see inside city streets.
Yeah,
you know? You could see buildings and. Yeah, I like the backdrop. It's real nice.
It was decent for this finale. And then you have Team Flash getting ready for Cecile's birth, but there's no power, and Caitlyn's just trying to keep her from losing the baby, basically.
Yeah.
Marlize is brought to the team by Iris, and she helps them formulate a plan to stop DeVoe, which is using Cecile, the very pregnant woman. And her telepathy to send Barry into DeVoe's conscience using the cerebral inhibitor.
That's amazing how crazy or how far her powers can spread.
Yes, she's insanely powerful.
Literally get in the mind of anyone.
Yeah. And to point this out before we forget, because in the 10 minutes we had been talking, I didn't mention.
Hearth out,
Caitlin touched her at one point, and then she said something about Thomas, and I think that's her father.
He's always been that way.
Yeah, and
maybe she was talking as if she was her mother.
Yeah. Or it could have been her brother, because remember Killer Frost had a brother, but it was the other alternate Earth. So maybe on this timeline, she's kind of becoming her Earth 2 counterpart.
Maybe
something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so sorry, we'll theorize about that later. So Barry goes into DeVoe's mind. And he finds Ralph there. It was awesome. Very cool reunion.
That was smart, the way that they wrote him back.
And while they're doing...
It makes sense.
Yeah. It really did.
He really is in...
his own body.
He's in his own body, but the mind is taken over by DeVoe.
And DeVoe can't kill him, or else the body goes.
Yeah.
So it makes that should have been the first indication that he was the good side of DeVoe, because that's the plan, to find the good side of DeVoe, because he's he visits me from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
That's psychotic.
He's I just want to see if the good of me is good. You're are you okay?
Yeah, you good? You
okay.
good?
I'm gonna be bad again. I'm going back to being bad. See you later.
And Marlize basically tries to have them find the good part of him, so that way they can bring him out and just take over the bad side. And then meanwhile, Harry puts on the thinking cap one last time, and it sacrifices what's left of his intellect to help Barry and Ralph find direction and where they could find the good DeVoe. But
that was
good
a
DeVoe's
very
dead.
sad moment though for Harry.
And Cisco.
That was just like his last moment of like, I can help you. He's like, help.
Yeah.
Please.
And then he just shuts down.
Yeah.
Like, and then you just see like the freaking sadness in Cisco's eyes while that went down. But it sucked too because it went to like nothing basically. Like the good and DeVoe was dead. But then Barry runs them to the Nexus, which
if you think about it, Harry was actually right.
Yeah, he was.
He said the first place that they fell in love, and that's where the good of DeVoe is, and Ralph was there.
Exactly.
Man.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But basically, Barry remembers that, like what Jeremy just said, that Ralph is the good in DeVoe. So he's like, we got to go through that portal. And right when they said
through
that,
the Nexus.
Yeah.
Beneath the man is his nuclear nexus.
Necklace.
No, I was trying to say nucleus and nexus at the same time.
Damn, you should have just said Nexus.
Yeah. I had a second time to make it right, but I messed it up. Not true. Sorry.
Get out of my face. But yeah, that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
You just see like a horde of DeVoe's.
Yeah.
What do you call that? Just going at them. So Barry and Ralph, of course, fight them off. And try to get to the Nexus. You see this bunch of cool team up moves. They do like the Barry holds Ralph by the legs and then spins him around at super speed. And then the cape thing. That was
cape tricks.
That was awesome. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
Except his cape was truly alive.
The little ends of his cape were his feet, and you just like you could just see him kicking DeVoe's left and right as Barry was swinging him.
It just looks. It's like
so comical, but perfect.
He looked like the blanket in Brave Little Toaster. If you guys know.
Yes.
And basically they fight their way out of Nexus. But while they do that, Team Flash, they kind of confront DeVoe on a couple occasions. First at the main lab, where Cecile's suffering contractions, and Caitlin's trying to calm her down. And then Marlize moves everybody into DeVoe's lair, where Harry just starts spewing out what Barry was spewing out, like when he first came back from the Speed Force. Basically, like saying the prophecy was coming true of DeVoe's enlightenment. And then DeVoe eventually finds them and absolutely incapacitates and just owns everybody except for Cecile, who's a tough little cookie. And she was just
she is the tank on the team.
She turned on her telepathy to like freaking 100 and just like stop Joe from getting killed by his own gun.
That's amazing. She has that, like, with telepathy, there's so many like other powers that you could output. Like you could transfer someone's, or you could mind link someone to another, and also still stop someone from shooting themselves.
That's pretty OP.
Amazing.
I would like to see her in a scene with John Jones.
Yeah,
honestly,
that would like maybe if she gets pregnant again, she'll get those powers.
Well, hopefully she keeps it.
Oh yeah, but they said that it's gonna disappear after she has the kid.
Oh, that sucks because it got so powerful.
Yeah.
But basically, the Barry and Ralph work together. They got out of Nexus right before DeVoe kills Cecile, and Ralph takes his body back.
Yeah.
But before they could do anything, or before DeVoe like disappears, quote unquote, he uploads a piece of his consciousness into his chair, which they took back with them to the lab when they went to deliver Cecile's kid.
You should have seen like that coming, like that right there, him like touching the chair just would have meant something to them. But he's just like overlooked. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna die."
I've just been like, "Leave that thing."
Yeah,
we'll find a way out of here. And that basically it brings us to Star Labs, and while Cecile is getting her baby delivered, DeVoe tries one more time to like taunt the team, and it was hilarious. But Marley's just unplugged. He tried.
He's like, I'm alive.
He's like, I'm gonna take over Starlight. Goodbye.
Do you have the windows?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be perfect. We have to make that first.
Yeah.
But that's perfect. But in doing so, and the activate,
I never freeze.
or the guy with the Krispy Kreme box. Oh, I feel so bad. Yeah, so basically it activated a dead man switch, which if he goes offline or if DeVoe dies,
the satellites go offline, yeah.
Basically. So basically it starts, it
basically
it tears apart and debris from the satellite can fall on Central City.
Mm-hmm.
So Barry tries to stop it,
yeah.
and Cisco and Ralph tried to get people to safety, and Caitlin's just trying her best to save the baby. I kind of feel bad for Iris and Joe because they really couldn't do anything but just look at everything happening. Same thing with Marlies. She was like, they basically Barry tasked himself in punching a satellite. Okay.
Yes.
They went through so much trouble to obtain a piece of metal from Amunet to destroy the satellites, but Barry's just like, F it, I'm gonna punch it. That's just like insane. And this one was bigger than all the ones that he put. That was it put together, right?
I think that was
okay.
No, maybe no. That's the Star Lab satellite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so he commandeered it.
Yeah, because last episode exactly what you just said.
He called it Sally, right?
I think so.
Cisco. So basically, Sally's just it could level the city.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big the impact would have been, or even more so. So Barry actually jumps at it, but before he can make contact, time reverses itself.
Yeah, that was so weird. I was just like, I was touching the screen. I'm like, did it freeze again?
Yeah, we're like, oh, what's going on now?
Like, there's no buffer right there. Like, could you just go? And then you just see him go backwards.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, oh.
And then at the
I literally said that right when he was about to punch him. Like, she's gonna be there to help him. And then I was like, oh no. But did it freeze?
It happened in the most unexpected way.
Yeah. I didn't understand that the whole scene until you see it start playing again.
Yeah. So basically the other unknown speedster helped him punch the satellite, and it was pretty badass. That was pretty cool.
Very badass.
Of course, Central City, they cheer and everything. They're like, yeah, Flash. And I'm like, how do they not notice that's Barry Allen? Half his mask
That's
is
like
missing.
one of the scenes right there where they could have added another little storyline.
Yeah.
You know, for Sing, he was standing next to Cisco and what's his name? Fudge Ralph. Right?
Yeah.
And he could have just looked at Barry. He's like, Barry?
Yeah.
Right? Even just saying that would have created another storyline.
I think he knows, though.
Yeah, I know, but like showing that on the show would have created something cool.
Yeah. He would have been like, it just like pans on his face and he's like, Alan?
Yeah, he could have just said that.
Yeah,
like,
that would have been cool.
Or just like, he's definitely getting his job back. You know, or something like that.
You got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
Marlies apologizes to the team. She gives them like a device to help Harry get his intellect back, which doesn't fully work.
Partial. Yeah.
It's sad, but he kind of accepts it, and
yeah,
I think
like
that was
the explanation.
He's like,
you gave me balance. Yeah.
That was very, and then all of a sudden he's just like, yeah. So with that, I'm gone. I'm just gonna go leave and see Jesse because family is what it's all about, and that's what we love about the Flash. That's why we can never really bash it because they do family so well.
Everywhere you go, I don't know the lyrics. I'm running around you
everywhere you. Okay. But yeah, he embraces Team Flash. He actually says "I love you" to them, which is it hits you because it's like, wow.
He just leaves and he's like, oh, I'm supposed to hug you guys.
Yeah, it's sad, but it kind of completed his story arc for now, at least. And Marlies goes to save the world in her own way. So there's a chance she could always come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Barry tells Iris, yeah, Speedster helped me. And then it just fast forwards to a party at the West Allen household. Everyone's there. Ralph, Wally, that was awesome that he came back. And
you're just like, whoa,
Yeah.
You kind of like screamed a little too loud.
I was excited because you know he really grew on Legends, and I like that he explained that he's like, Barry was gonna overshadow me, and I didn't want to feel like I was being overshadowed, and Legends lets me be who I need to be for myself, and
very nice.
That's pretty cool. And then we got the mystery girl appearing at the party, and she's like,
"I am new hair again."
Yeah,
like
wearing the same jacket that Iris wore when she was a speedster, and she's like, "Oh, I guess this is when you gave it to me." And she's like,
she keeps messing up the timeline.
Yeah, basically. So like father, like daughter. It's like, my name is Nora, and I'm your daughter, and I think I messed up real big. And before we end it off on that, let us just say congrats to the Wes Allen, or just the Wes for another child who is absolutely adorable.
What's her name again?
Jenna Marie. Her little feeties kicking was adorable.
Yeah.
And I guess we could get in.
Honestly, yeah, that was the one theory I was wrong with. Like, my initial theory of her being Nora was right, but like 2 episodes ago, I like kind of changed it. I was like, what if the other speedster is that Jenna Marie, you know? But oh well.
We're right about her being their daughter, though. So.
Yeah, initially.
Well, we let's just say we stuck with it because we did for the most part.
You stuck with it. I didn't.
So Easter eggs, I guess. This is not even the right page. What is
interesting?
How dare you,
Easter eggs,
sir?
What I got was
crap in the hat.
Yeah, Legion.
Hat. Okay. Yeah, nice.
She talked about she's like, you're Supergirl, you're Arrow, you're whatever.
Yeah.
You could assemble Legion, but you can't stop DeVoe.
Nice. Marley's hit a pop culture.
Attack of the Clones.
Nice. E.T. was referenced.
Yeah.
And like you said, the mask.
The mask when he was shaking. DeVoe actually did that well, but Ralph did that even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cape tricks.
The kill here. Like, oh, Star Wars.
Barry's like,
That's
wrong. He's like, just no, stop it. And
this house is bitching.
Yeah, she said it.
Very nice.
Is there anything else? I guess that's her
tag.
Yeah, like it's her. This is Crash and mode. It's still cool. I like it. It's funny.
I guess.
I guess previews. We didn't get any previews, of course. This is a finale. Theories moving forward. Villains we'd like to see. Maybe a Daniel West type character, or Godspeed, or Cicada, or Blue, freaking Cobalt Blue, who we've been talking about since the first season.
Is Cicada a male or a female?
Yeah, he's a male.
Oh.
He's like some bald, like he's kind of like the way he operates is like Savitar. Like he gets acolytes, and then he gets the acolytes to sacrifice themselves so that way he can maintain his immortality.
So kind of like the dude that, what do you call it, Savitar?
Yeah, basically, just without the speed.
Felton?
Yeah. Basically.
What's his name? Like, what was
Dr. Alchemy.
Yeah, Dr. Alchemy. I guess. Dude, this is kind of out there.
Okay.
We're doing theories right now, right?
Yes, we're doing theories.
Yeah, what if the Jenna Marie is a villain?
Ooh,
you know?
I like it.
And
like she'll be like a Daniel West type character.
The fact that I forgot her name. Nora. Yeah, Nora helped Barry save Central City.
Yeah.
Kind of change timelines a little bit so that I don't know what happens in the future, but somehow it makes Jenna a villain.
I like it
to the family.
That would be pretty dope. It'll be different, and it could carry out like that Daniel West sort of storyline that we've been kind of. I thought Wally was gonna take it, but obviously it didn't. But yeah, we also have that Killer Frost thing, like Thomas. That could be her father or even her little brother.
Yeah.
Because the Earth 2 version of her had a little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Never mentioned his name, but and Caitlin is kind of like. It's weird. It's like she's parallel to her Earth 2 version now. It's like she has more in common with her than she did before. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like she's kind of like a paradox, if anything.
What are those Paradox Reapers next season?
Those things are so annoying to fight in DCU. Oh man,
this is another theory. Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's about Nora.
Yeah.
Maybe what if the fact that she changed that, it kind of altered her birth, you know?
Yeah.
What if she messed up and she's like, I feel like I'm gonna disappear because I helped save Central City now.
Yeah.
Oh well. You know, what if it's her trying to, or the team trying to help fix the timeline so that she is still around?
I like it. That would be dope. Definitely next season.
It doesn't sound so dope.
It is dope. It's still a theory. Yeah, it's I really wouldn't mind seeing another speedster at this point.
Another?
They slightly underused DeVoe, so I feel like they're more
as a villain.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I feel like they're kind of more comfortable with the speedster thing, so maybe just kind of stick to that, because DeVoe, they could have really had that struggle like drawn out a little more, to like the action we saw tonight should have been this like latter half of the season, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got to be introduced to some really cool characters, but at the same time, it just could have been more. But Neil Sandilands was perfect as the Thinker. Just wish he had been in it more.
Sandilands.
I thought it was Sandilands.
Sandilands.
I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Sandilands.
Sandman.
And also Accelerated Man. Hopefully we see him again. And
Man.
Hopefully it next season's bad guy
cool.
would be it.
What if he's the next villain?
Who?
Because he jumps Earths.
Oh, Accelerated Man? Yeah. He could be. That's another good one. And then the crossover next year, it's going to have Batgirl and what do you call that? In Gotham City. So our guess is that it has something to do with Intergang and Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be so
but my
dope.
question is, this is kind of going back to what she said. She's like, I made a mistake. What do you think that mistake is? You know, I think that's why I went with that theory of her being erased, because she changed the timeline in the past. But do you think there's any other issue?
What if that killed somebody
else?
That like
it kills Iris?
Well, maybe her, because I'm pretty sure debris still fell everywhere. What if a piece of debris still hit somebody and it's someone with powers, like somebody who had a loved one is hurt by the aftermath and then comes after them.
Interesting.
Like, instead, if the thing had crashed down, yes, some people will survive, but what if the villain had died in that alternate timeline? And she kind
so
of
you think
like
that whole, she's like, I made a mistake, was because like it resulted in another villain?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe. Because she got chronokinesis.
Me,
like, I feel like she can use her powers to go back and forth in time and trying to see if what she does
is wrong.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
My theory, like, because of her, my theory of her being erased is because in the comics there is a Nora Allen, and she goes by the name of Cruise, like Cruise, like Tom Cruise, spelled that way. But her last name is, her mother's last name is Cruz, C-R-U-Z, meaning that she's not the daughter of Iris, she's the daughter of Barry Allen and someone else by the last name of Cruz. And I feel like the fact that she saved
Valerie Cruz?
No, her name is Jessica Cruz.
Jessica Cruz.
Yeah, and the fact that she helped save the day back then, kind of, and this is kind of messed up. Like, I felt like that's where Iris was supposed to die, so that Barry finds another love interest, so she has so they have the child of Nora.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, my English is not there. But yeah, that's just what I think.
There's so much to look forward to the next season. It ended on a high note, so this is good. I can't wait to hear what it is they're doing next year. It's gonna be hype though, especially with the cast changes and the additions and all that. Hopefully, Harry comes back once in a while, but I feel like his story arc is completed for now. Is there any other theories you got? No? All right. So with that being said, you guys, we shall see you on Krypton. All right, so again, this episode of Krypton, which was titled Phantom Zone, Dance.
The ultimate sacrifice.
Honestly. Because, yeah, this is a really, really good finale. This entire season surprised the hell out of us. It is a little bit late at night, but it is definitely worth the watch.
Bad. Like, the initial reaction of not just myself, but a lot of people for the show.
I think I hated it more than you did.
Yeah. I was just like, when I saw the teaser on Instagram, it's like, will Superman's fate, like, be determined because of this man? And I'm like, what?
How could you tell Superman's story without him?
What is this?
But they did it.
Sense. Yeah,
they freaking did it.
They defied all odds. And not just with storyline, their numbers are crazy.
Yeah.
For a show that's on sci-fi.
But yeah, it
defied all odds. Yeah.
I'll be honest too. Like when Supergirl's trailer first came out, we did a reaction.
Yeah, we did the
on
same
it.
thing.
Yeah, but it's one of our favorite shows. Honestly, the writing on Krypton, yes, it starts off a bit slow, but that's the thing. You don't know the characters.
Yeah, you kind of need that.
Definitely, because they all really grew this season, and some not in ways that are the best. What we're saying, well, at least what I'm saying is they're very flawed. The only character I felt like really grew this season was Seg, and he started off as kind of like a dickhead. And then it all leads up to this, the big battle between them and Braniac, who just stood there for like most of the episode, but he was destroying
Still
stuff.
Menacing.
He was like the stoop guy.
Yeah.
He's like standing on the stoop.
Were you referencing Hey Arnold?
Yes, I was.
I don't know why I couldn't say Arnold. I was like, Arnold.
Look, he's coming off his stoop.
Yeah.
And
didn't they even? He made like a song about that too.
I think so.
Like, didn't he do like a little like jazz type?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Dude,
it's kind of late. We're kind of on the down low right now because it's 12 o'clock.
But yeah, it was just amazing seeing them kind of. They really had no plan, honestly.
Yeah.
You knew already though, going into this episode, that Zod wanted to take over Krypton once he saved it from Braniac. But
selfish man.
He was gonna sacrifice his grandfather, right?
Great
grandfather. Yeah. Val, because Val was able to get out of the Phantom Zone thanks to Seg. And then Chem showed up for like a second. Dev got like some sort of metallic arm. Adam Strange is revealed to be in one of the bottle cities within the ship. There's like thousands of worlds.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I was just about to say in the ship.
Yeah, that's a massive ship, dude.
It's so cool. Like it.
How many do you think he has stored in there?
There's thousands. That's like multiple universes. Like he said 4,000 something. That is insane. And what makes it even crazier is that these worlds are not only from different universes, but they're from different times as well.
This man's insane. He really is the collector of all worlds.
This would solve the problem of having all the worlds in one place on the DCTV.
Yeah.
Just have a bad guy collecting all of them.
Yeah. Like, you know how you're talking about the whole theory of like the time trapper?
Yeah.
Or what's his name? Is that what his
name?
It
is. That's
with the whole Legion thing?
Yeah.
And the Pocket Universe, that's even more insane if they do it like that with the whole Braniac.
It's literally in his pocket.
Yeah. I have in my pocket a couple of Hammerfats.
A couple of damn West Fast. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it was snowing, and Jeremy was talking about it, like being like like being like snow globes.
Yeah.
Basically him collecting them. It's just insane.
He's a psychotic collector. Yeah.
And I just love the effects in this episode were so good. Like the DCTV on CW needs to pick it up because the Phantom Zone, the way it was brought in, it was insane.
Yeah, amount of effects that they used this episode is crazy.
So
like
good.
the whole cut where it's going into the ship and showing the different bottled cities.
Oh my god, that was so cool.
Even that, like, that's a massive render. You know, all of that. That's just so much to create.
Yeah,
and they still make it realistic.
I was super loud when that happened. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
like it's insane.
That was loud for me too.
Sorry,
it's okay. Yeah, like shots like that amaze me. You know, it does like the zoom of the ship from the ship. It's inside, but it's like a wide pan, and then it zooms into the city that Strange is in.
Yeah. And you just see like a bunch of other ones around it. It's
like
sick.
from that thing, like it shows like it's like globed or closed off.
Yeah. Bottles, we'll call them bottled.
And then it zooms into the city itself, like showing all the buildings, all the people, everything that's inside of it. Super crisp quality.
It was amazing. Transitions are so sick on this show. It's very seamless.
Very seamless. And like the other thing, when they found the Val-El,
like the portal
itself was
sick.
Yeah, they make it so good because it's not perfect. You know, they took the time to make it rugged.
Yeah, it looks very chaotic.
Yeah,
that's what I envisioned. Like if you threw some lightning and just changed the color of that, that's what the Speed Force in my head looks like.
Yeah, and no offense, it actually looked better than the Speed Force.
Yeah, it honestly did. And everything like with the like the skimmers going throughout the city, and then Braniac just dropping them all with
like, just
like this, and you see it's kind of like a continuous shot.
Yeah,
it's like what.
it's a moving shot while those things are dropping. Like these people who are on the effects team, hire them on the Flash, please, dear God. They should hire them for everything that they do for DCTV.
Costumes, set pieces, because most of this the thing is a lot of the sets are practical, like they're actually built.
Yeah, they really take the time to invest in everything that the show has to offer.
And seeing Doomsday punching himself out of a cell, like that had
that
better.
Look real.
That had better.
He looks crazy.
Yeah, that had better graphics than Barry fighting himself in like season 3.
Wow. But true.
Like they need to step it up. Like how do they make that guy look more realistic than the actual characters on the show? Like sometimes on the CW you could blatantly tell it's CG, especially when they're like flying.
I think the closest person in terms of CGI that looks realistic that's on the DCTV is Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
No one else really compares to that on the DCTV because you could kind of tell that it's CGI.
Yeah.
But for this show, Braniac, I was leaning in closer and closer every time it did a close up of his face. I'm like, dude, it still looks real.
He has like very.
It doesn't even look like it's fake.
He's insanely detailed.
Yeah,
too. Like he's terrifying to look at, but at the same time, you see a suit and like
they really take the time, to make everything amazing.
They need to start doing that on the show. And the thing is, too, in the very short amount of time that we've seen it, the way they portray the powers, like not just the TK and all that stuff that Brainiac can do, like reading, like him speed reading, was sick.
I think this is like in defense of DCTV because I like to cover both sides. I think that one of the main reasons as to why their set things are like that is because they have the same set for all DCTV, so it's just like ever changing. They keep rotating, which kind of sucks. But it would be amazing if they kind of improved on that.
Which is why Legends is probably the best out of the entire bunch because they shoot on location. But yeah, this show, like they need to take some pointers from this because they could definitely, like they did this, like the super speed when Dev had it and super strength.
Yeah,
it was like it wasn't cheesy. It looked realistic. Like it was like the blur, like in Smallville, but done way better.
For sure.
They need to start doing stuff like that because it's that's what makes this show really good. Not only just because of the graphics, but the acting is so good. You get invested in his characters. Like we're still reeling over Ona's death, and Cam, like, he's enlisted. Zod's taken over. What else happened? Val-El, like Val is in the real world now, but then Seg is with Braniac in the Phantom Zone. Lyta just made some poor life choices by shooting her mother, who was probably found by the father. I mean, not the father, her brother. So Jaina's brother, the one that she left for dead. And yeah, it's pretty dire right now. Like, Adam is still like in a place where time is standing still. So that means they didn't get rid of that ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, normally you don't like shows that have a not so happy ending, but this just makes it more interesting because they technically have 3 threats next season.
Yeah. Doomsday, Zod, and then he's still not gone yet.
Yeah.
Braniac, he could still come back.
I just imagine him and Seg-El just be like arguing with each other. It's like, you got us trapped. Shut up. Or something like that. Just, or they're playing tag in the Phantom Zone. But yeah, this season was really, really good. Honestly, I don't think it had like a filler episode. Really, each episode kind of led up to.
This was what, 10?
Yeah,
it's perfect.
See, exactly,
perfect amount.
Just do the 13 episodes.
10 to 13, like 10 to 15 is like a good number.
Because you get so much story, and just look at how much they're able to dedicate to making it look good.
Mm-hmm.
What the 23 episodes thing has proved was that it's filling a quota, but it doesn't help with the production.
Yeah,
the overall quality of the season.
For DCTV, Black Lightning and Legends kind of showcase that very well. Like, the shorter seasons actually have better storylines.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to really fill in between.
Because if we had just the beginning 9 episodes of The Flash and then these last 2, but like with a couple more of like the last 2 of The Flash, that would have been a perfect season. Because this villain was a good villain.
Mm-hmm. But they dragged out like the boss metas.
Yes.
The second half
for sure
of the mid-season. Because
I would have loved to watch like 6 or 7 episodes of them fighting crime inside DeVoe's head. That would have been insane.
Yeah. But getting back to Krypton.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I just kind of I'm comparing it because I would like to see these shows flourish the way that this show is. And congrats to them for getting a second season, because this is a fantastic show.
All the shows. They're getting renewed. Good job.
But big thanks, big congrats to these guys, because they're telling a story that I didn't think was going to be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Prove me wrong. And I can't wait to see what happens next. We're gonna have to.
It's like the underdog.
Yeah.
Like, it literally, like, for me in my rating system, that thing jumped from the bottom to the top. I'm sorry, DCTV, but that's just what happened.
Honestly, this is probably, like, you guys might bash us a bit, but this is probably the best written season, even over Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Black Lightning's really good. Like, it's this show, Black Lightning, Legends,
Arrow,
Supergirl, and Arrow, or something like that.
For me, it's Arrow.
Flash is last. I'm sorry,
dude. And come to think of this, like, last season, we're just like, oh, Flash will top everyone all the time, right?
No,
but then these new shows came out, and then it's
like they had really good ideas, but they just didn't carry through with them. Kind of.
Hopefully, they can redeem themselves.
I think we kind of already put our theories out there. Hawkgirl was supposed to show up this season, but they said that they're gonna save her for next season.
Oh, they said that?
Yeah.
They said, so maybe they just cut her scene out.
I feel like if they're gonna show her next season, she's in one of those. Maybe Braniac took Thanagar.
Oh, what if it's like one of those things where they're just like, we already showed her, and you put up that theory that what if Seg, like the actor, plays the man of Steel himself?
Superman, yeah, that would be dope.
So what if Lyda, because Lyda kind of looks like, 2 months ago I was a barista.
Yeah, oh my god.
And then you just hear Shiara. Right?
Yeah.
Lyda kind of does look like a Hawk girl.
Yeah, she does.
I don't know.
No, I like it. That'd
be
really
cool. Like, just in a different timeline or a different,
like, reality.
He collects worlds from different universes.
Everything.
So she could be a different person.
Yeah.
On that timeline, so maybe she dies there, and then they take her as Hawk Girl. I don't know,
dude. That's insane.
That'd be cool.
There's so many possibilities.
Yeah.
Like them showing us that, it's like anything can happen.
And
like
you said, his ship is still there.
Yeah.
So they could go in. They could venture into each city that's taken.
Yeah, and that's how they introduce like other heroes who are from other like planets.
Yeah. Mine just
step it up. CW.
These guys,
Damn it.
They planned ahead.
Yeah.
They seriously planned ahead.
This was a really good
very
season.
smart.
Any other theories moving forward?
No.
This is our last one for this show.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be Supergirl for the next 4 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna ask Bears what he thought about this episode.
Yeah, you have to call out. Could you call out?
Spirit, where are you?
Not sure, dude. He might be.
Ollie
there.
Oxen.
Yeah, dude. I seriously can't find
Bears.
Oh my god, it's so good. You see it? Fire! Okay, the next episode, man, like it can't get here soon enough. Whoa.
Very nice.
He loves them all.
Very nice.
Very few choice words, but
He loves the
He loves them all.
episode, and what he means by episode, he means all the episodes that air this week.
and he loved this episode of the Justice Clubhouse podcast.
Yes.
I guess we could get into hashtags. Well, I'm not gonna even pick a favorite show. I just thought Krypton took the week, definitely.
Take the cake.
So this giant hashtag, other than this house is bitchin', that'll be a big one for this one.
Hashtag this house is bitchin'.
The big one is fanatical impulse doomsday. There, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's not that long. Oh, because we had 3 shows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought it was a really solid week, and to end it with Krypton like that, it was fantastic. Flash as well ended on a high note with Nora being revealed, and Supergirl, we can't wait to see how the season ends because Rain is proving to be one of the best villains that this universe has seen.
And they also created a rivalry between Kryptonians and the Luthers.
Yes. I cannot wait to see her downfall, honestly, or her downward spiral. It's going to be interesting. And I guess with that being said, did you guys go leave a like down below if you enjoyed, and go comment what your thoughts and theories are about these shows and episodes of what's to come in the next season. And yeah.
Be sure to check out our Stardust and our Instagram. We post the speed trolls on Superhero Sundays on our Instagram at the Justice Clubhouse. And our Stardust, my brother does the live reactions right after the shows. It's at Justice Clubhouse, HAUS. If you guys want to be featured at the beginning of these episodes, these podcasts, just tag us there, and we'll be sure to put you guys in front of this.
And I apologize for not doing that last couple of weeks. It's just time crunch. Sorry.
Another thing that happened on Stardust is kind of pretty big and kind of
hit
sad. Us. Yeah. EU Stardusters were removed because of the whole Internet Act that's over
the
there.
Data protection. And
everything. And just want to have a moment of silence for them. You'll forever be in our hearts.
Yes.
And hopefully they can get all that stuff sorted out.
Yeah. And for those of you, we did see your YouTube links.
Yes.
I subscribed to some of you. I haven't gotten through all of them, but I have, written them down, and I will find you eventually. But we'll be supporting you on here on YouTube for sure. Yeah. We've just been super busy as of late, and
if you guys are one of those people who have had your Stardust removed, and are watching right now, please be sure to comment down below or let us know that you're watching so that we could subscribe back to you.
Yeah, exactly. You could just share your links down below.
Yeah, just share your links down below, and then we'll check it out because we read all the comments.
That's for everybody. Yeah. You guys have a YouTube channel. We won't always be able to check everything out because that's a lot of people, but we will try our best to leave a comment here and there, leave likes and stuff like that. So go ahead and leave them down in the comments below.
I think that's pretty much it, dude.
This is our longest Krypton one.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you guys, we shall see you in the next one.
Bye. Dude, I'm slow, dude. I'm smaller than you, but I'm slow. What the